Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, like, and tell me how you're using generative AI in education. The reason why I want you to subscribe is so you get notified when the next video is available to you. It'll get sent right to you. So let's jump into ChatGPT and use ChatGPT as a research partner. I think we're at a point in education where we can use generative AI to help us inform what we're doing and to give us the latest research in education. But how do we do that? How do we get ChatGPT to push the limits of its limits to find research articles for us? Well, here's what we do is we ask ChatGPT to help us do just that. Sometimes we think we have to figure out the right prompts, but ChatGPT can do that for us. And here's what we're going to do. Now, you can clearly see the prompt that I have available to you. How can I use ChatGPT to help me research articles? Be concise and remember, you and I are thought partners. The reason why I did that is because it does what we call this waterfall effect, where it just spits it all out at once. And it might even do that now. But what I'm hoping is that it's specific and to the point. So here's some things it can do for you. It can identify your topic and keywords. It can generate search phrases, outline and structure, summarize articles for you, analyze and compare, organize findings, create a bibliography, APA, citations, and it can show you how to do that. And now it gives me, because it's a thought partner, a brainstorm buddy, it gives me a specific question to ask me how it can support me. It clearly says, want me to show you how to quickly outline a research framework based on your topic. Well, that's not where I want it to go. What I want it to do is not at the moment. I want you to go in a different direction. I will be asking you to find research for me. Do you understand? Sometimes you have to, it's like talking to a friend. Like, do you understand? Does this make sense? I can say, does this make sense? Is just ask it, because if you can get ChatGPT to slow down, just like you would in a collective conversation, we can all become responsible for the conversation, just like you can make you and the generative AI responsible with you. So yes, I understand you want me to help you find research articles directly when you ask, not just guide you on how to do it. That makes perfect sense. I'm ready whenever you are. Just let me know your topic. Well, I have a little guide that I want to show you. And in this guide, I created, I'm going to show it to you, just kind of an outline, and I will give it to you too as well. So let me bring it over so you can see it. So this is how to use ChatGPT as a research partner. And so finding articles and sources, and for example, find me peer-reviewed articles about using ChatGPT as a teacher, not for students yet. So we'll grab that. I'm going to copy it. And again, I'll give you this at the end of the video, or you can obviously just grab it in the description right now if you want and pause the video. This is what you can do. And you can tweak this prompt. So let's see what happens. When you do this, it's going to search the web. And I specifically said peer-reviewed. So sometimes the peer-reviewed articles aren't available to you unless you are connected to a university. But even if you're not at a university, you can log in at a university or a library and get these articles. So even if you're at home and you're thinking, oh, I need a day, need something to do this. So let's see what we're going to do next. So it says the use of ChatGPT in teaching and learning, a systematic review through the SWOT analysis approach. And I don't know if I want to look at strengths, challenges, weaknesses, opportunities, and whatever that is. I might be saying that all wrong. And so this article gives me a little outline, a summary, quick. This article represents a systematic review of ChatGPT's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I would almost say challenges, because I don't like that. It should be SWOT or something. I don't know, SWOT. And then ChatGPT in teaching and learning, a systematic review. And then ChatGPT in education, methods, potentials, and limitations. Kind of like that one. And then drivers and consequences of ChatGPT, use in higher education. Role of AI chatbots in education, systematic literature review. And so literature review, and you can, if you're like, I don't really know what that means, you can ask ChatGPT, what is a literature review? Basically, it's taking a bunch of articles and reviewing them and giving it back to the public in a more concise way. So let's see if I click on this, if I have access to this article. So I have the abstract. I'm always wondering if it will let me. I'm going to click on this article to see if it'll redirect me. I don't see where oh, there's the PDF. So I could download this article. It's right here. And if I want, I can take this article and literally download it. So I'm going to download it, and maybe I'm going to, find out where do I want this article. Who knows? Let's just throw it into generative AI for now. So now I know where it is. And you could read it. I recommend you read it. But let's say this is not your life's work. You're not doing actual research for a project at your university, and you're thinking, I want to read more about it. You can ask ChatGPT to read it for you. Now, we're going to do that. But wait, what we can do is all of these articles, I want to show you, go back to this, how to use ChatGPT as a research partner. You can ask ChatGPT to put all articles listed in APA. Now, I probably should update that a little bit and say APA citation format, because I wanted to cite it like a bibliography or works cited. And so now it's doing that. And I'm kind of going to push it and say, remove numbers as if this was in a research paper. And it doesn't care if you spell anything right or wrong. So now it's, and I'm actually looking for indentations. And I'm going to ask to see if it will do it. If not, you're going to have to format that in your, Microsoft Word or Google Doc or wherever you're doing this. So again, it's not doing it, but you know that you have to format that and push it over. And you can ask it to direct you. But at least if you're writing a blog, you don't necessarily care if it has the indentations. But clearly, it gives you all of them. It put it in APA format. You can even say, do the same for MLA and then Chicago style. Yeah, some of you are like, what is Chicago style writing? Yeah, I'm from Illinois. Chicago is special. We like to do things the way we want to do things. And yes, there is a Chicago style. So you'll notice the difference between APA. It only will capitalize proper nouns and acronyms, where in MLA, the whole thing, the whole sentence or the frame, this is in sentence form up here, APA, not in sentence form. So everything that possibly could be capitalized, it usually will. And then Chicago style, you'll see that it's, let's see. So this, yeah, again, everything is in capital. And then Chicago style 17th edition, man, they are really updating that a lot. You'll see that it also is not in sentence frame. Everything is capitalized in the title. So you can decide what that looks like. So if you're writing a blog or an article, or you're writing a book and you're like, I want to put all of the articles that I read for this research project or the book at the end of the chapter, you can put them in order, because you'll notice that it puts it in alpha. You can ask it to put it in alpha order for you. And which I'm not going to do, but typically it should put it in alpha order. I think it does that in APA. Let's see. It did not. I'm going to ask it, why not alpha order for APA? Please tell me why first. So I know I'm going off on a little tangent, but if you haven't read the 7th edition of APA, you're probably going to not know that. So you can say, are you sure you use the right format in APA? And now I'm just going to tell it yes. Like, it's asking me right here, my chatbot, would you like me to correctly format the APA citations in alpha order? It does so. So just things you may not know, but you can always look it up. So the research that I did isn't necessarily perfect, but at least we know that it will do a lot of the work for you. And man, if I was in K-12 or in 8th grade and writing was so like bigger than life and abstract, and you'd give the paper to the teacher, somehow the teacher felt like it had to be perfect the first time, you'd get all the corrections in red and you felt bad about yourself. I will tell you that everybody is a new writer every time they write a new project or write a new paper. It's okay to not be perfect. You just write freestyle probably at the beginning, add some research, and you go back and edit. All the good writers do that. You can become a good writer. So with that, let's go and grab that article. I have no idea where the article is sometimes, so I'm going to go find it. I'm going to go to my research. Let's find article, artificial intelligence. This should have been the most recent one. So tell me about this article. Now, if I knew and had read this, I can be really specific. Elaborate on this. What are your thoughts? Things like that. And now that I know that, if I go to this article and just kind of skim it, I can see that I can say some things about the article. I can say, elaborate on the abstract. Just the abstract. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know, so it can elaborate on the abstract. This is the purpose. Like this, I like. And notice that the abstract, there's a lot here, but it feels like ChatGPT really organized it well. So research methodology, findings, implications, future direction. So then you can run with it, because now for me, because it's a partner, would you like me to summarize each section of the article? Also, should I proceed with an annotated bibliography entry for the APA format? Just do first question. So these are some of the things you can do with ChatGPT, and how you can integrate and have it read. And it gives you like the introduction, the literature review, and the methodology, findings. And then you can say, what would your opinion be of the findings based on your own knowledge? And I say that because it won't want to give me an opinion, but if I say based on your knowledge, it's now going to, wherever it gets all of its information from all the databases and the internet and all the things, it'll then respond. Sometimes it'll say, I don't have an opinion. So strengths and findings, focus on personalization, especially promising. The identification of ChatGPT as a tool for research and writing. It's a supporting system. Google's supporting, the ERIC system is supporting, all the places you can find research. The library is a supporting tool. It really is. This is an accessible place. It may not be the only place, but it's certainly accessible for you. And I want to remind you that I gave you some prompts that you can play around with. Yes, they're kind of very ChatGPT focused, but you can do whatever you want and ask ChatGPT to help you through that. I am really curious on how you're using ChatGPT to help you become a really good researcher, maybe just to help you in your everyday education support life as a teacher, as a principal. Maybe your district isn't using it with students yet, but you can become really, really good and become a master of what you're doing with ChatGPT before we put it in front of students, because practice doesn't make perfect. It makes proficient, and we get better the more we do things. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Come back often and tell me how you're using ChatGPT.